The period of 1836 and 1839 was a messy period in Peruvian history when there was a war of the Confederation. Why am I telling you this? Well, because during that time, not one, not two, not three, but four Peruvian short-lived states existed we need to discuss right now. We're talking about the Republic of North Peru, the Republic of South Peru. These were together in the Peru-Bolivian Confederation. Then there was a secession in 1838-1839, which was the Peruvian Republic. And then there was the Republic of Iquicha. Sounds like a complicated mess. Well, it is. Good to have you back on the channel. If you're new, I'm Stefan. I'm a Dutch history teacher and I like to cover history. Preferably I do it on location. Like right now, I'm in El Centro, the main square of Lima, the capital of Peru. If you find these videos interesting, consider subscribing and also hit that notification bell. In the first half of the 19th century, Peru gained independence from Spain. A part of the colonial heritage of the new state began its life with a racially defined occupational structure. Most artisans were black, most farmers were native or Indian, and most traders were mestizos, mixed race. And the elites were mostly white. According to the writers Christine Hunefeldt and Bill Harris, in the first decades after independence, Peru had a struggle for stability. The main hurdles in the process of consolidating the new republic were the lack of physical internal infrastructure, deep-rooted distances and suspicions between social groups, the complete disorganization and disarray of public finances, and, last but not least, the absence of an accepted and legitimate group of leaders. As a result of this, it was hard for the new nation to achieve political, social, and economic stability. To illustrate this, between 1821 and 1840, Peru had 5 different constitutions. In the years after, 6 presidents governed the country. 2 political models were heavily debated on. On one hand, the constitutional monarchy, the San Martin advocated for, and on the other hand, a liberal republic, which was according to the wishes of Simon Bolivar. Both models had its supporters who were willing to fight and die for their cause. And this makes the period of 1836 and 1839 all the more interesting. After they gained independence in the first half of the 19th century, many Latin American countries had border disputes with one another, and this led to conflicts between them. To illustrate this, Peru fought in a war against Colombia in 1829, against Bolivia between 1829 and 1834, and against Chile between 1835 and 1842. Just to name a few conflicts Peru was in. Now, a relevant war to discuss is the War of the Confederation. This has nothing to do with the American Civil War, by the way. In 1836, Bolivian leader Andrés Santa Cruz created a confederation consisting of his country and Peru. Chile was not happy with such a powerful neighbor to the north and had reasons to fear, as Santa Cruz nullified a previous treaty that gave Chile preferential tariff treatment. Peru joined in and also imposed a special tax on Chilean goods, and this brought the economy of Chile in danger. Chile attacked the Peruvian port of Callao and seized 3 Peruvian ships. The war initially did not go well for Chile, as the first Chilean expeditionary force that landed in Peru was defeated by Santa Cruz's troops. Santa Cruz then offered generous terms. He wanted the return of the 3 stolen ships and recognition for his Peruvian-Bolivian Confederation. The Chilean government rejected the agreement and sent another army under General Manuel Bulnes. In early 1939, Bulnes defeated the forces of Santa Cruz, first at the Battle of Buin and then on the 20th of January 1839 at Yungay. The Bolivian leader fled and the Confederation collapsed. Let's take a look at this short-lived confederation. The Peruvian-Bolivian Confederation. Had it been successful, it would have led to the establishment of a new country, encompassing modern-day Bolivia and southern Peru. As the issue was internal trade, free trade versus protectionism, but the real issues were obscured by national infighting. See, when I was studying the history of Latin American countries in this time, you see that due to the lack of national cohesion, there was a lot of infighting. When the Peruvian-Bolivian Confederation was created, Peru was reorganized into 2 autonomous states, South Peru, governed by Luis Orbegoso, and North Peru by President Pio Tristan, and General Jose Miguel Velasco governed Bolivia. Santa Cruz became the ruler of the whole Confederation. Writer Waltraud Morales discussed different historians and their assessment of the Peruvian-Bolivian Confederation. He noted, the historian Herbert S. Klein had noted that the Confederation brought both peace to Peru and respect for its power along the entire Pacific region, and the territorial union also made Bolivia a major power of contention in South America. Some Bolivian historians, nevertheless, have considered the Confederation completely disadvantaged to Bolivia by subordinating it to Peru. In 1838, a state named the Peruvian Republic seceded from the Confederation under General Luis Orbegoso. The territory encompassed North Peru, yet Orbegoso managed to reach an agreement with Santa Cruz. The status of Orbegoso's republic changed from a sovereign state to an autonomous republic within the Confederation. That did not last long, because the next year the Confederation was defeated in battle and disbanded, and so was Orbegoso's republic. Another state that was proclaimed and found its demise in that same year was the Republic of Iquicha. Now, unlike the Confederation, this state came into being earlier and was the result of a rebellion in the interior, in Iquicha, in the northern part of the department of Ayacucho. It lasted from 1825 till 1839. Unique was its leadership that was made up of whites, mestizos, and natives. Do notice that at that time, the Peruvian War of Independence against the Spanish royalists was still going on. The Iquicha rebels, they wanted to create a state on their own terms. In 1825, the Peruvian military put down the uprising, but later the uprising reoccurred. As a peasant army, 1,200 men overwhelmed the government forces, attacked rich landowners, and seized the town governor. Fighting continued until May 1826. The government used brute force, but uprisings did not stop. The power of the Iquicha leaders resided in their ability to appropriate the taxes. They were able to name their own collectors, especially in the local coca haciendas estates. With the tithes they paid for the organization and logistics of their rebellion. The right-hand man of pro-independence fighter Simón Bolívar, General Andrés Santa Cruz, went to Ayacucho to negotiate with the rebel leaders. An agreement was made to pardon the rebels, and thus peace returned. But soon, Spanish royalists within the ranks of the Iquicha rebels prepared a revolt, because they heard rumors that Spanish and French forces, a total force of 22,000 strong, was on its way to Peru to help them. With an army of experienced fighters, known as Montoneros, they came into action once again. The new Peruvian president, Marshal José de la Mar, promised the people in Iquicha exemption from tribute and military recruitment. Some laid down their weapons, others continued to fight. A bloody battle took place at the city of Ayacucho, where the rebels were defeated. Many of its leaders were hunted down in the months after. Rebel leader Antonio Huachaca was the only one to escape. In 1833, the Iquicha played a role in the complex politics of Peru, when they sided with the liberal-minded general Luis José Orbegoso in ousting the conservative president Agustín Gamarra. This gave the rebels leverage to negotiate for the creation of their own independent state. They developed their own economic and political agenda by sometimes resisting and other times obeying to the Lima-based programs of conservatives and liberals alike. The Iquicha rebels supported the Peruvian-Bolivian Confederation and fought for it, but to no avail, as this confederation was disbanded in 1839, and so was the Iquicha territory that was now incorporated into the new Peruvian Republic. Despite all these changes, one thing that remained was instability. After the defeat at the hands of the Chileans and the disintegration of the Peru-Bolivian Confederation, chaos and anarchy took hold. Successive caudillos, local leaders, came to power, some of them lasting less than a few weeks. In the 19 years between 1826 and 1845, Peru counted 12 presidents and approved 6 constitutions. And due to all this, Peru lacked cohesion, which would play a crucial part in the upcoming War of the Pacific. If you want to learn about the War of the Pacific, Well, I got you covered. Click right here. And if you're interested in these shortlist states, well, I got a long playlist for you, my friend. Click right here, give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe, and adios.